Here in Texas, we have a lot of pride, of course. Watching not only first responders come together, task force, the paid agencies that always show up, but the volunteers and the community at large really come together to show not only solidarity, but actual actionable resilience.
I've been in emergency services over 30 years now. Here in a month, I'm going to start my 20th year here in Burnet. We've had some minor floods where we have to close a street down here and there, but nothing like what happened.
It's a unique situation that we have down here in Burnet where CareFlite is living at a firehouse. We can hear the calls coming through as we're just kind of living at the station. That week of the floods, they had this enormous structure fire.
We had a tire shredding plant that caught on fire. We spent about the next 4 days out there round the clock trying to get that fire out. They shred tires there, and there was an enormous amount of tires. They were all on fire. That's the biggest fire we've ever had in the city, in the county, anywhere around here.
It required a large amount of resources, and then shortly after, we immediately had the floods kind of hit us here in the city and in our county.
What I remember is maybe 3 or 4 in the morning when Hamilton Creek started flooding right here through the middle of Burnet, and the calls started coming in. At that point, we just start hearing calls for water rescue over and over and over, just tons of them. People trapped in and on top of cars in their homes.
The July 4th floods in Kerr County were happening. They had already happened the day before these catastrophic floods. We knew these young girls were missing. The devastation in Kerr County was just unreal. And also we knew that weather was moving our way.
We have 2 highways that run through Burnet. Both of them were flooded with several feet of water over the top of them. You know, of course, it rained a lot in a short period of time. I had quite a bit of my command staff on duty for the emergency to happen. When it did, I probably had the best staff that I could.
We started responding to calls as quick as we could. Then we quickly realized we had to prioritize which calls we could get to and where we could get to try to help these people.
At one point in the morning, we hear the call go out that a nursing home, assisted living facility is being flooded and there are residents trapped inside. So when we get out there to this facility, Burnet Fire starts bringing their boats out. They're working in close coordination with members of the Texas Task Force. We just watch Burnet Fire work, and they go out there and they start taking these individuals out of this facility. Some of the individuals were handicapped, unable to walk, unable to move. These firefighters are out there just lifting them through the floodwaters, putting them in these boats, bringing them to shore. There were some families that would come. We were able to reunify some of the individuals that weren't hurt and reunify them with their families.
It's devastating. When you have a flood like this, the assisted living flooded. We had streets. The entire street was flooded. One of our fatalities was a father of one of our deputies. So, that hits close to home when, it's somebody you work with all the time and it's his family member.
I believe it was the day after the flood. One of our ambulances was stationed back at the bay, plugged in. Our crews were recycling, basically, having a little bit of downtime when they heard a loud noise in the bay. Went out to the bay to find their ambulance completely on fire. So we had to quickly extinguish that before we lost an entire fire station.
Resiliency, it's the ability to be stretched to the breaking point and keep going, and the ability to bounce back and step up. And I think that's exactly what Burnet Fire did that week.
It's one thing to bounce back and just continue to be traumatized. It's another to bounce back and learn from those things and really be capable of helping, and that's all I saw.
Words can't even express. I have an outstanding staff here.
I nominated Burnet Fire for this award because witnessing their commitment and service and resilience in the face of such a big disaster was inspiring, and I just wanted them to know that we notice and appreciate it.
It's always nice to be recognized for your hard work, even if you don't expect it. I think that's something these guys will appreciate for their entire career.